4 stripes on my brown belt, so the next step is black belt.
And when I hear different colors of belts, my brain goes into Power Rangers.
And then I got punched in the face by Jason, and I was like, this isn't too bad, you know? Maybe I'll come back tomorrow night and do it again.
Please, allow me to show you something.
Welcome some, welcome all. This is the Savage Mountain Podcast, where we have unfamiliar conversations with familiar faces and familiar conversations with unfamiliar faces. I'm eventually. I'm gonna knock it out the park. This show is brought to you by Neo Life Physical Therapy and Wellness, along with Neo Fit and our new Neo Golf, where you can get your short game up. Today, I bring to you a friend of the show, a friend that I've, stumbled upon on my journey into personal training and exercise science. It is the phenomenal mom, Monica Medina.
What's up?
I tried.
Yes,
I tried.
you got it.
I
Perfect.
tried.
Perfect.
For us, and I like to say our origin story, but today I want to set the table and ask you the question of how did you get started on the journey of, I guess, making fight life or going down the athlete's road, especially from a woman perspective. We've had enough men on here. Now I just want to hear from the female perspective on enduring the fight life.
All right, that is a story.
Yes, and I want it.
Yeah, it was about 2013. I moved from Florida up here to Mississippi and actually stumbled upon Alan Belcher's gym going to the movie theaters. My son was 8 years old at the time, and he was interested in just fighting. You know, we watched UFC stuff on TV, and we saw that cage in the window, and we went to the movies, and we're like, when we leave, let's pop by there and see what that's all about. Went in there and met Mike Sanford and Alex Harrell. Met those two. We got my son did a little class there, and we're like, all right. Mom was almost 200 pounds at the time. 198. Yeah, I was overweight. I wasn't looking to do anything. I was just getting my son into jiu-jitsu. So he did jiu-jitsu for about a year. We were there 5 days a week. You know, I'm on the sideline drinking Mountain Dews, eating chips, whatever. Watching what's going on, I saw the fight team, and there was one female on the team at the time, and that was Mickey Rogers. Tiny little 5 foot. She claims she's 5 foot. She ain't 5 foot. Little girl out there, fighting with the dudes. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. But again, overweight mom. So one day they had fitness kickboxing going on. They did a little boot camp. I was like, let me try this out. Let me try to lose a little bit of weight. And started doing fitness kickboxing. And then I kind of ventured into the women's jiu-jitsu class just a little bit, here and there. Cause my son, again, he was doing jiu-jitsu. He was really good. He wanted to use me for whatever stuff. And I had no idea what was going on. So I started doing those two things and lost 50 pounds in about a year. And then they asked me, they were like, hey, you want to join the fight team? Mickey could use a partner. And I was like, absolutely not. That's not for me. And Jason Knight, I very well recall the night where he grabbed me and he was like, get in the cage, put me down, got on top of me and was just like, come on, you can fight back. And I started punching him, didn't have any idea what I was doing. I had been probably doing the women's class for about a year then. I think I was a blue belt in jiu-jitsu at the time, but I didn't know nothing about striking. I wasn't trying to get hit in the face. And 4 months after that day, I took my first MMA fight. How they convinced me to do it, I don't know. I was terrified. Wow. I beat that girl in less than 2 minutes off of pure fear that she was going to kick my ass.
In 2013 or 2014?
Back in 2014, January of 2014 was my first fight.
How did you feel fighting after throwing some punches on Jason Knight? Did you feel some kind of way about it? Empowered? I don't know. How'd you feel? Describe that moment.
Yeah, I liked it, Like I said, I was terrified when he said get in there. I was like, absolutely not. And then he started punching me, and he's yelling at me. And you guys know Jason. He's insane. So yeah. He's mounted on top of me. And he was 22 at the time, out here fighting everybody. So it was a little scary. But after that practice, I was like, you know what? I actually like this. This is pretty cool. And I think I practiced every single day after that. I trained every single day. And like I said, within 4 months, I took my first MMA fight.
And was Jason Knight at the time?
Yeah, he was Jason Knight. He was the dude beating everybody around here. Yeah.
Because in 2014, I guess at that time, like, I don't even think, I'm not on the coast. I'm in Hattiesburg at that time. But like mixed martial arts I didn't think of it as a local.
Yeah, it was. They had the little small shows around here. I fought for FFI. That was like the show that everybody fought on around here, Fight Force International. And then they had like the Atlas fights.
Yeah.
But aside from those two, that was like, that was it. Yeah.
That was it.
I think I took most of my amateur fights was for FFI.
Yeah.
And like 1 or 2 for Atlas. But it was small, but Jason Knight was beating everybody up around here.
And for him to be your introduction into it. When I first got into working with Alan and Robbie, Jason had came in, and I'm like, at that time it's Jason. He's small.
Yeah.
But when his level of intensity, I'm like, man, he's big. Like his intensity, his personality, his intensity is bigger than Alan's.
Oh,
You know, even though Alan could be very subtle, but man, I'm like, bro, Jason. But for that to be an intro,
I spent many hours locked in a cage with Jason, Alan, me, Mickey, like Chase Sherman.
yeah,
All of us, we lock ourselves in there and everybody's just fighting. And Jason being Jason, Yoda, I don't know if you know Aaron Williams, Yoda. He's like the OG in fighting. I think if you look him up on Tapology, he's probably got like 50, 60 pro fights. And James Sharp. Those were the coaches back in the day, old school. Many hours around those beasts.
dang, it's a hard sparring.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're not gonna pivot too much, but I do, from my perspective, because this is me just being a fan. How does that feel to be regarded as one of, if Alan or Jason Knight is considered a pillar from the male perspective or the overall thing that is mixed martial artists? How does it feel for you to be one of those people? Just again, like, because representation is key, and for you to be the woman, and when people look at like, hey, if I want to get into this, you're the person to seek out. How does that feel?
You know, it's kind of crazy to me because that happens a lot. You know, people come up to me and they say that, and I don't view myself that way. Like, I guess I'm pretty humble. You know, I'm just like, oh, I'm just another person, you know. But it's kind of humbling, and it's pretty cool to experience that a lot. Like, girls always come up to me at the gym and they're like, man, I want to train with you. Like, you fought, like, I watched this, and I'm like, dang, like, you're talking about me? Like, I honestly, I just feel like I'm just another person. I'm out here. I have so much fun doing what I do that I don't even think of it like that at all, honestly. It's really cool because people do come up to me, but still to this day, years later, I'm just like, me? They want to do something with me? Like, like, you know, I don't win every fight I get into, but I feel like I'm pretty decent at this, you know, and I've got a pretty good understanding of it. But it's very humbling.
It is.
Very much so.
All right. Now, I want to ask you, bro, how does it feel to like, to whoop somebody's ass, choke them out with your bare hand?
Bare knuckle fighting is the greatest thing on planet Earth. Like, and growing up, I never got into a fight ever. Like, I was a straight A student in school. My sister is 2 years older than me. She was the one that was like out fighting in school. I would come up behind her and the teachers were like, oh, great, we got another Medina. Little did they know I didn't fight. Like, got straight A's. I was super quiet. Started literally my first introduction to fighting was in 2014 at the gym. You know, I started fighting. I did gloved MMA for like 10 years. And when bare knuckle came around, I was actually retired from fighting. I was like, all right, I'm done. I opened up a gym. I was kind of chilling. And then they were like, bare knuckles. And I was like, I have some big hands if people don't know. These things are huge. So I was like, you know what? Let's try this out. And the first time I hit somebody with these things, I'm unretired and let's go. It's great. But outside of fighting in a cage for like a lot of money, I'm not fighting anybody.
You know,
What makes bare knuckle fighting different from other forms of fighting?
Because it's so real, you know, it's real, it's raw. Outside of fighting, my other job is I'm a bouncer downtown Ocean Springs, you know. So if anything pops off, I can't be like, hold up, let me go get my gloves out the car, you know. At the end of the day, I got these hands to use. And anybody on the street, like, we don't just carry boxing gloves or MMA gloves. So like, this is how it's actually going to happen. And honestly, the punches hurt less without gloves. I've gotten cut one time in 8 bare knuckle fights, but the punches hurt way less. Like the next day, I feel less hurt than I did with gloves on, truthfully. But if you've never hit anybody with bare knuckles, I don't say go do it because it's probably, it's probably frowned upon, but
Yeah.
it's a great feeling. I'm telling you right now.
Do not recommend that.
Don't recommend it,
Dr.
unless you
Doom
train. But it's
Yeah.
unreal. It's unreal, and it's so real. It's so raw. Like this is real life.
When you say hurts less, are you talking about when you hit and the contact on your knuckles, or like when they punch you in the face, their punches hurt less?
Yeah, their punches hurt less to me. And I don't know if it's because people hold back. I just don't have that inside of me to hold back. So
Yeah.
thankfully for Neo life, Monica can go out there and fight and throw her punches at 100% because I know I can just come in here that following Monday and get therapied. Thank you, Neo life. You guys are awesome. But my knuckles always swell up. I haven't broken any bones. I've gotten x-rays and they say my bones are so dense that it's crazy. I've torn a ligament in here. So my hands get pretty swollen because I just throw like hard.
You got some
But
damn oven mitts.
I try to tell you. But getting punched with bare knuckles so far, it's hurt less than gloves.
Yeah.
'Cause I think they can put more behind it when you got protection on your knuckles. You know?
I would say, yeah, it's almost like you feel whenever if you're, I guess like my mom always used to say, like if people drive, I guess reckless because they feel like they have the security of being in a car. And then if they're, but it's actually like you could do more damage. But if you're more efficient, if you got, it's no protection there. Yeah. So I don't know. Oh man, damn dude. But besides you being a coach, I did not know that you was a mom, a mother of 2.
I'm a mother of 3.
Mother of 3.
And a soon-to-be grandmother.
So,
But that's not going to be my name. You're not calling me grandma.
What, Mimi? Momo?
I need something that sounds cool, man. Like, look, I'm a bare knuckle fighter. You can't call me grandma. So if anybody listening to this has any suggestions for a cool grandma name, send them my way.
But it's ain't too many momos that can whoop some ass though.
That's true.
I mean, momos whoop ass, but more of a traditional sense. Yeah. But
I literally
put the pause.
Ass. Yeah, I got a 22-year-old son, 20-year-old daughter, and 18-year-old daughter.
Damn it. Now that makes sense with the name. So did that, you being a mom, inspired
the name?
The name?
The nickname came from actually my son. Like I said, he was doing jiu-jitsu. He was traveling all over the country, whooping people's booties. And they called him Little Phenom. And when I started fighting, everybody's like, you got to have a nickname. And people at the gym literally came up with Phenom's mom. And they Phenomenal Mom. Phenomenal. And that's where that came from.
And that's all.
Worked
Phenomenal
out.
Mom.
Phenomenal
Mom. So knowing now that you retired, right?
No.
Not unofficial.
From MMA, I retired,
from
but I'm bare knuckle boxing right now.
Bare knuckle. Okay, so we're live and active. But I see that you are always moving. Bro, she has more jobs than it. I tell you, this woman be working. Bro, this woman working, bro. So, and that's not to discredit any Jamaican that's watching. I appreciate y'all work ethic. Y'all get after it. Shout out to the Beau Rivage and the housekeeping, and they be after it. But again, leaning into that is that you go up to, I don't know what this place is. Like, what is that dungeon that is in Hattiesburg that you go up to?
Graham MMA.
Yeah, man. Give me a rundown on that because it's raw, it's rugged, and I appreciate it. I live through you whenever I'm looking at your snaps and that team of women that you have. Because it's more that y'all have up there than I see down
like
here.
Women down here.
Yeah, so it's like, is that where you go to get that back and forth? Could you, like your role in that situation, could you give a little bit of a spill on that?
Yes, Graham MMA up in Hattiesburg. Actually, it's probably been about 3 years now. They had a girl up there who wanted to take a bare knuckle boxing fight. She had never fought before. She's a mom. I think Audra was like 40 at the time. So they were looking for a female to come and train with her. And Eric Graham, the coach up there, he hit me up on Facebook one day and he was like, hey, I got this girl up here. I'll pay for you to come up here and just get some training with her. And I was like, sure, come up there. Went up there, trained with her a couple times. And I just love the environment. Training down here on the coast, there's a ton of guys, all the guys on the fight team. So it's I can fight all day long with these guys, but I never had like a solid group of girls. And they had a bunch of females up there, some that were just beginning, some that were thinking about it but hadn't done it yet. So I linked up with him and I was like, hey, I'll start driving up here, teach a kickboxing class for you. They have a women's class, and you want to coach me. So I started driving up there 2-3 times a week. And we grew that fight team for the women. Like the one girl up there right now, she's going pro soon, Devin McDonald.
Yeah.
She started out like the first time I punched Devin, she'll tell you, she cried. Like she was like, this is, I don't think so. And now she was like 7-2 as an amateur, held a couple titles. She's about to go pro, and she whoops my behind half the time. Like she has turned into a killer.
Yeah.
So we kind of grew that. I kind of helped grow that fight team from nothing up to, there's 4, 5, 6 girls, whooping each other's. We get some hard sparring. Like I got my eye cut open on Tuesday a little bit down here.
Yeah.
We go in the back. There's a cage. You just open up that rolling door. It's hot as hell in the summer back there.
Yeah.
And we just get after it.
Nah, dude, I like seeing that on your Snapchat. I'm like, man, that is.
Girls get
That's a
after it
solid
too. There's no like, we're not chilling. We're just in there training with each other, and we love each other to death. And we are out there literally trying to get some blood out of each other every time we go up there.
Dude, female athletes.
Yeah,
man,
they don't play.
Yeah, it's different. It's not a one size fits all, especially like from and this is where we can lean in as far as like coaching. How does that, like the dynamic in you being an active female athlete, but when coaching male fighters opposed to female fighters, where is the difference that you see the most? With
coaching male versus female, I help coach females only.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I like in my kickboxing class there's men and women, but I don't consider that coaching. Okay. But as far as me, I like to coach the females. It's so different. I don't think people understand the difference in guys and girls sometimes.
No, they don't.
Like,
enlighten us.
Yeah, the way your body moves versus them. Like I have coach up there, he's a big old gorilla dude, and he's like teaching us and he's like, do this and do that. And then when we're over here drilling it, the females are like, well, this isn't working. So that's where I step in. I'm like, all right, we are women. Things work a little different from us. So so it works that way. So I like to coach the females, like Devin, my training partner. I'm in her corner pretty much all of her fights, and I have her in my corner as well. She might be an up and coming amateur, but I put her in my corner all the time because she's amazing. So I enjoy coaching, but honestly, and there's nothing against dudes, obviously, I love you guys, but I just enjoy coaching females. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm passionate at. I let the dudes do their brr stuff. Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's not to say like a lot of times with basketball, men can get away with their level of athleticism, and so the fundamentals kind of get pushed to the side. And when females on the basketball end, like it's very technically sound. Everything is run crisp. It's very like the coordination is just top notch. Is that something that you see a little bit more on the MMA side, where it's not as less freelance, where you just go follow through with the coach and the game plan you to a T?
Yeah, absolutely. Because guys, obviously, you guys are going to be stronger than us. Yeah. So training with them, coaching them, it's like, whoa, I can throw you over here, I can throw you over there. Whereas girls, we have to stop. We got to slow down. We got to be more technical. And I don't know why. I feel like the girls just embrace it and they just get it. And we're like open-minded. Not that guys aren't open-minded, but you guys are strong. And you're like, F this. If I can't, slide in here this way, I'm just going to throw your ass across the room, Whereas with a girl, honestly, we can't throw you across the room. Even other girls our size, like I'm pretty freaking strong. Yeah. But I try not to use that. I try to be technical, because if I apply that to real life and like the other job that I have outside of this, I'm bouncing at a bar and generally I'm dealing with guys that are bigger than me. So I'm not just going to throw them across the room. I got to use my mind, and I got to be technical about the way I'm going to handle this.
I feel like y'all have more endurance and stamina, though. It's just an observation or just what I'm thinking. Would you agree with that?
For the most part, yes. But honestly, just might sound rude, but just in the guys and the females that I've encountered, it's that the girls really, 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 really want this, and they put in a little bit extra on the cardio side of things, Whereas the guys are just out there trying to knock each other's heads off, and not all of them, because you guys do hella work here. But in general, they're just like, I'm not going to go get on the bike. I'm not going to go run the bridge. I'm not going to run on that treadmill. Whereas us, we're doing all that. And trust me, I hate running with a passion. I hate it. I don't think I'm ever gonna like it, but I've learned that I have to do it. So, it's something mentally about females. Like we're just females like me.
Would you
anyway.
say
We're
it's
crazy.
a feeling of having more to prove?
Yes, I think that's what it is because this is such a male-dominated world. Like we got to prove it. Like if you want to make it anywhere in fighting as a female, like you have to be top of the top of the top. There's so many guys out there, so you can make it a little further being a guy.
Yeah.
But with girls, like it's a smaller pool of girls, so like you got to really prove yourself to go anywhere. Like if you want to be in the UFC or the top bare knuckle promotions, you can't just be like anybody. Like you got to prove yourself. So you got to do all the extra shit that you're gonna hate.
Yeah, no, that's
for sure.
That's a good question. That's one thing that I was like getting ready to like jump into because it is different, and a lot of times people want to feel or speak on it like there isn't a difference between the female and the male. Like, nah, y'all have it's that what's the word, double standard that's out there, and I feel like it's the more of men to be advocates and not like, no, it isn't. It is a double standard, and we need to champion our women more. Like not just in sports, but just in life in general. In life in general. But what Alan had when I was growing up, Alan, it was that gym, right? Other than before American Top Team, I've never seen another especially over this way, other than yours. So how was that transition of being an understudy almost, but then stepping into the world and being like, like, no, I'm gonna be the lead singer. Everybody has a chance to be Beyonce. This is my moment. I'm gonna be Beyonce. Yeah. So how was that rolling into it?
That experience, like opening up my own gym, it was pretty amazing. It was pretty scary at first, I had such a good foundation with Alan and with that gym, and I loved them to death. So it was hard, but I knew I wanted more, and there was just something that I needed to do on my own. So I ventured out and I opened up my own gym, and that was great. But I did retire from fighting when I opened my gym. Yeah. Because it was a lot. Like I was teaching 3-4 fitness classes a day. I had kids classes, and then to try to train to fight, my focus kind of shifted to, running this gym and kind of just teaching other people. So I retired for a while and I ran that gym and it was great. But about 4 or 5 years I had the gym open, and then the bare knuckle stuff started and I really wanted to fight again. So my focus was shifting back to fighting, and I was kind of neglecting I was just like, can I find somebody else to teach this class, so I can go train, So then finally I made the decision to just close that. Yeah. And I'm teaching a few classes at American Top Team. And then I'm able to train clients and kind of live the life that I want to, and it's great.
There we go. As long as you have a level of peace.
Yes.
But starting that, would you ever find yourself as like being a coach full time?
I think so, yes. I actually had this conversation with my girlfriend a few days ago. Yeah. Not that I'm going to retire anytime soon, but I'm 40. So it's not like I'm going to fight for 5-6 more years. Like, I don't know. I might.
I mean, you're in damn good shape.
I might. But, the 5-year plan, I'm thinking, retire from bare knuckle fighting. I'll do jiu-jitsu forever. I'm 4 stripes on my brown belt, so the next step is black belt, so I'm gonna get there. But I do love teaching, and like I said, I like the female aspect of it, coaching the females. So they have like a little women's jiu-jitsu class down here, a couple girls that are interested in fighting. So I have been thinking of, leaning into coaching, but focusing on maybe coaching some females and bringing up some more female athletes and female MMA fighters. Because there's plenty of dudes around here that are UFC fighters, ex-UFC fighters. They can coach people to fight, but I think it would be good to have a female who's been there, done that. I started from somebody that knew nothing about fighting at 29 years old, so that's the next step for sure.
Yeah. Coaching. Yeah, let's get that going. Cause like I said, I got two little girls, and
you make them strong, and I'll make them killers.
Strong. You teach them how to whoop ass.
Yes.
Cause at every birthday party, I'm letting them. I got 2 pit bulls. 2 pit bulls. That was my sister that was just calling. She know how to street fight. But if you know how to, throw an MMA move on them, some jujitsu, activate it. Now, I'm coming at this in pure ignorance, and I've heard this for the last 2 or 3 shows, these different colors of belts. Now, when I hear different colors of belts, my brain goes into Power Rangers. And I don't want to be disrespectful to the journey and the process and the art that is martial arts. So could you fill us in on like the trajectory, the ABC, the purple, green?
Start all the way at white.
See,
And like how to get there. Like,
how do
what's
we
the progress of moving up? Yeah,
give us a rundown.
Okay, so we start.
Batchy, did you know anything about that?
I have no clue about any of that.
Me neither.
I know black belt's the end all be all, correct?
Pretty much.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm black.
That's about. You got a belt on?
Yep. That's it.
Well, you black belt, good.
Man, leather.
So yes, you will start at white belt. That's basic. I don't know shit. Day one, Okay. And this is like if we're doing traditional martial arts with a gi on, jujitsu. That's what I was saying. I'm a 4-stripe brown belt. So it goes white, blue, purple, brown, black. If you live to be like 150, you might get to the red belt, but we're not going to be 150. So we'll scratch that red belt, but all the way to black. And then I think once you hit black belt, it's like every 2 years you might level up. But from white to blue belt, for me personally, was just under a year. But I competed like active jiu-jitsu competitions like every month. I was just like active. So it takes about a year to get to blue belt, another year or 2 to get to the next belt. It takes a while. I've had a brown belt now for way too long, about 6-7 years. But when I started boxing, I kind of put my gi in the back of the closet, tied the belt, threw it in the back of the closet, and didn't touch it for a few years. So I've been back in the women's class at American Top Team now, training in the gi a few times a week. So I just got my last stripe on my brown belt. Okay. So next will be black belt. It could be 6 months. My goal for this year, like literally the one goal that I have, is to get my black belt in jiu-jitsu. Like I'm gonna fight bare knuckle hopefully in May in Albuquerque, New Mexico will be my next fight, but I really want to get that black belt this year because it's like that's like a 10-year. It's about 10 years to get a black belt, and I'm a little over 10 years now. Yeah, like I said, I kind of put it away for a while, but the end all be all is that black belt for me. In 2025, we need to have that thing.
Is it a use it or lose it situation? Can you downgrade? Or
No. Once you get there, like if you were to switch teams, like if I was to move out of state, and go train with another team, it might take a lot longer to get to that black belt because they kind of got to assess where you're at. But no, you can never downgrade. You probably, if you don't train for a while, you probably suck, and you'll feel like you want to downgrade, but they're not going to take anything away from you. Cause when I started back, like I got my purple belt. Actually, this is how I met Robbie. I got my purple belt, and like a month later, I broke my elbow. Robbie was in his tiny little clinic down the street.
Oh, yeah, the hole in the wall.
The hole in the wall. Before he expanded to 2 holes in the wall, he just had that one end spot.
Oh, I wasn't there for that.
Oh, yeah. I met him. It was him and Matt. I think Matt Mazzara.
Shout out to Matt Mazzara, yeah.
Matt Mazzara was, they was just them two in there. And somebody was like, go to Neo Life, Robbie I had a broken elbow and I never had surgery. And Robbie had me doing push-ups within it was record time. It was crazy. So I met Robbie, and then we did the athlete sponsorship, and that was like 2015, and I've been breaking myself and getting fixed by him ever since.
There we go.
You might have been the first the athlete sponsor.
Probably. It was a long.
Say
long
2015.
time ago. It was literally Robbie and Matt. What's his name? He's gone from here now. He works for Red Bull.
Oh, Zach Scales.
Zach was in school. He might have been like 13.
Yeah, still look like he's 13.
Yes. He was in there sometimes. He was coming in there doing his little clinicals or whatever. Yep.
Dang, man. Shout out to Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
God bless. Dang it, man, with a broken elbow. Yeah. So, all right, all the fights that you had. Out of all of those, I looked on there, and I don't want to mess up the woman's name. You fought this woman,
Patty, 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. So how does that, what's the psyche whenever you like a familiar opponent, but it's not like we're playing basketball, like out punching each other in the damn face. What's the mentality in going into that kind of situation?
I fought that hurt girl for what, 19, 20 rounds total. Man, so that was my first ever experience with boxing. Period. I'd never boxed. Like my whole MMA career, I was a grappler. I would just take you down and punch you in the face from there. Like I was never a stand-up fighter.
All right.
Like my whole base, my foundation was jiu-jitsu. Like they called me, and then I did bare knuckle MMA. But then again, I still took the people down and just punched them in the face with bare knuckles.
You have the most unorthodox journey.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I said, when they asked me to start fighting, I said absolutely not. Nobody's punching me in my face. Like, no. Why would I do that?
Almost 200 pounds.
Yeah, almost 200 pounds. And then I got punched in the face by Jason, and I was like, this isn't too bad. You know, maybe I'll come back tomorrow night and do it again. And I haven't stopped since. So Patty, I got a call. They were like, hey, we're coming to Biloxi, and they had a title fight. She was the champ at the time. And she was a 135-pound champ. I had always fought at 125 pounds. But they were like, we're coming to Biloxi. She was supposed to fight this other girl. She's injured. You know, you're from Biloxi. You want to jump in and fight for our title. And I was like, they gave me like 3 months notice or 2 months notice. And I was like, of course I do. I don't know nothing about boxing.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got enough time that we're going to figure something out. You know, so I was training up in Hattiesburg at Graham MMA. We took that fight, and if you rewatch that first fight, I lost, but I didn't lose that fight. It was a new commission in Mississippi, and we're not going to talk about them because whatever, I got my feelings towards them, but they definitely screwed that fight up, and everybody knows it. Yeah. So she got the win, but I got the immediate rematch.
Okay.
Well, immediate turns into 750-something days later because we were in training camp to fight, and then she tore her MCL or something in her leg. So she was injured. So then I ended up fighting another girl because we were supposed to fight in Tampa, the rematch. Yeah. So I fought somebody else in Tampa, dog fight with that girl. That's how I got cut. That was a fun fight. That was probably one of the funnest fights I've ever had. No. And then after that fight, I was like, all right, now we need Patty. Okay. So it was like another 8-9 months, long training camp. Easy. I rematched her here in Biloxi, and that's when I won the lightweight title.
There we go.
And then I had just gotten out of literally an 8-month training camp. Fought her. I was like, whew, I can breathe. They called me not even a week later. And they were like, all right, so we want the trilogy fight. And it's going to be in Denver. And it was like 9 weeks away. And I was like, damn it. Like, I literally planned on taking the rest of the year off because I was like, They were like, it's going to be in Denver, her hometown, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right. So I went right back into training camp. Fought in Denver. And it was a cool experience. I lost that fight by decision. And honestly, had the elevation definitely kicked my ass.
That's what I was going to say.
And my body was so tired from not having time off like for an entire year. And you know how I train. I go crazy.
Yes.
You know, and I was literally boxing 20 rounds 2 times a week. 22-minute rounds 2 times a week. And when I say boxing, I don't mean we're just touching each other. No. Like, I mean, we get in some dog fights. Yeah. So I was broke down. And I took that fight again, lost that one. I was like, oh, well, whatever. But that was 3 fights with that girl.
Dang, dude.
I would love another fight with her because I beat her 2 times. Absolutely. The third fight honestly should have never happened, but it happened because she won the first one. But now I'm going to fight in Albuquerque, and apparently that elevation is just as bad as Denver.
Is it?
So we got to get after it.
You got to get after it, man.
You got to train for it.
Yeah. It's hard to train for around here, you know, elevation, but it's what it is. Hopefully we're going to fight for a title, too. In Albuquerque. BKB, if y'all listen to this, throw that title on the line. So
yeah, we'll definitely
put that belt up.
The bare knuckle.
Put that gold, that dime. That belt has literally, I should have brought it so y'all could see my belt at the house. Because I got to keep it after I lost. That thing has real diamonds in it. It weighs about 25, 30 pounds.
Yeah, you should have brought that in there.
I'll bring it.
It's going to be a part 2. You should have a part 2.
After I win this next title, we'll have a part 2.
So, training that way and then going into an elevation situation, that is nightmare fuel. So if you was to go into going into coach mode, would you recommend taking that fight?
No. After experiencing it, like as a fighter, you're just like, I'm gonna fight. Whatever, you know. And that's what I told coach. I was like, whatever, I'm beat down, I'm wore out, but whatever. They want us to fight the third time. We're going to fight the third time. They put up this real shiny black trilogy belt. Like, they made it real enticing. Made you not want to say no.
Yeah.
So I was like, and it was good money right before Christmas. But thinking about it, I should have took some time off. Like, I felt it the whole time. And then the elevation was brutal. So as a coach, I probably would say, listen, no, you're the champ. She made you wait 750 days. So how about you can chill, take 2 months off, and then we get after it. But so no, I would not advise that as a coach. No, I've been there, done that, and you know, I wouldn't say absolutely you can't do it, but my advice would be don't do it.
That's still your journey alone is crazy. So it's like you start off at 200 pounds, and then you fight multiple times at 125.
Yeah, almost every fight I've had. I did all the fights with Patty. I went up to 135, and then I've boxed at 125. The last fight was at 120. So I mean, I walk around about 145 right now. I try to stick around that. So 135, 125, either one of those is cool with me. But my whole MMA career, I was a 125er. I made 120 one time, and I was so skinny, no muscles,
dude.
Skinny, just
golly. So what I would like to compare, or just hearing you now, you and Alan have like this peace. Always have like a just level of calmness, and you're just earthly, man. You're like very just down to earth. But having like the first time I met you, had the shirt and you got the posture that you got. I'm like, yo, this woman. Bro, she's like a damn pit bull, but then once you start talking to you and like just engaging, like you are a mom. So like as being a parent, does that have any impact on how you can turn on that switch on and off?
Yes, and like I said, my 3 kids are grown now, but my girlfriend does have a 12-year-old. He'll be 12 soon, and a 4-year-old.
Okay.
So I have kids in the house now, so I'm still a parent. So
yeah.
I've always been this way. I've always been super chill, just super whatever, you know. But when it's like fight time, it's fight time. Like, I think about y'all trying to take something from me, take something from my kids, like from my family. So we about to get into a fight, and it's fun. Like, whatever it is. I used to fight scared. I would be like, oh my God, why am I doing this? You know, now I have so much fun doing it. Like, I don't care if I get hit in the face, if I get bloody.
Whatever.
It's a part of it. I don't care. It's fun, you know, win, lose, draw, whatever. I'm having fun. And, you know, my kids are kind of watching. The little one, the little 4-year-old that we got at the house. You've met the little blondes she used to play with the kids? Yeah. She walks around flexing now, putting her knuckles up, punching me in the stomach. So
she sees
what I do, and she loves it, and it's great. So it's like I can be super chill, like you said, down to earth. Outside of getting locked in a cage, I'm hanging out in the yard. You know, she's putting makeup on my face all day. I'm just a regular ass person, a regular mom.
Dude, that's so cool. Does any of the female or just the woman mother's intuition come into play whenever you're out there on the cage? I mean, out there in the cage or whatnot. And just having like, I don't know, just certain instincts or whatnot. I know the IQ is there, but just I don't know how to word it, but it's just the woman's intuition. Damn it, man. I don't know, just that, not the ambition, but just having a certain feel for certain things. Like, does that ever come into play?
I don't think so. I think when I go in there, everything is gone. Like, it's just clear.
Yeah.
And I'm literally just like, fight this person. Like, I don't think about my kids. I probably don't listen to my coach. I don't think about anything. I'm just going to be honest. Like, if people say they listen to them the whole time, they're bullshitting. Yeah. It just gets real clear, and I literally am just focused on, this is what you train for. We're just out here throwing punches. We're just moving. Literally just have fun. Breathe, have fun. Everything else goes out the window. Whatever happens, happens. And I think it all just kind of flows together, you know, like just the intuition, the instinct, all that. It happens, but I don't think about it at all.
At all. Not one bit. Do you think that's fun, Batchy?
Do I think that's fun?
Does that look like fun?
Fighting?
Yeah, fighting. Have you seen her?
It's art. It's beautiful. I think it looks beautiful. Not fun, but like
You wouldn't go out and do it for fun.
not at all.
No.
But it's a beautiful in like a respect kind of way, like appreciating the art form.
Yeah. I mean, I like Dragon Ball Z. I look at that like that.
And everybody I fight, like, we become really good friends. There's probably one person that I fought that I didn't become friends with, and she was acting up in the back and trying to throw chairs or whatever. So, yeah. So aside from that one girl, like, I have become really good friends with every single person that I fought.
Now
Like,
that's
it's respect, big time. Like, they train just as hard as I train. You know, like, they're going out there. We're going out there in front of thousands of people, or if it's hundreds of people, whatever it is. You know, we're gonna be on freaking YouTube. If you get knocked out, or if you knock them out, whatever. Like, you're gonna be on YouTube. Somebody's gonna freaking judge you. Somebody's gonna run their mouth. Somebody that doesn't go out there and do it. So if you get in there, you sign that contract, we get in there and fight. Like, I love you for that.
Yeah, and that's more. And is that more so like the sisterhood of, you know, fighting for representation, equality in this combat sports? Because there is a discrepancy.
Oh yeah, big
It's a
time.
massive discrepancy, but it's not spoken on a lot because it's brutal, and they're like, well, they subject themselves to this, but it's an art form. If you have a skill and you're good at it, I think you should be compensated for your skill, not for the gender. But yeah,
it's definitely there. Obviously, I mean, if you follow like women's fighting, you know, it's sexualized and it's this and that, and then you have these. This is a podcast, so we'll keep it PG a little bit. But you have these assholes, you know, douchebags on Facebook who are like, you know, all females suck at fighting. Why do y'all put females on your card? You know, they run their mouths. So for us, it's like there's just that extra. I got to prove myself to these douchebags. I used to feel like that, but now I don't. I just like they type their shit, and I'm just like, whatever. Show up at the gym, you know where I'm at. Like, right over here, and I'll show you. You know, but it's definitely there's a huge discrepancy there, and we just got to push harder and like get past that wall of just.
That's what I'm saying. So like that's for me as being a girl dad. That's what always gravitated me towards you, because I'm like, it's more than just you fighting. Granted, you said that you're having fun, but behind you is so many people that's like they wouldn't have had that opportunity to do that if you have to crawl for others to be able to walk and run. And does that ever weigh on you a little bit, or do you not think about it as much?
I try not to these days, you know. I've been there, I've done that. I've worried about everybody else, and like, all right, if I go in here, like, I'm doing this for me, I'm doing it for my kids, but like I say, I teach classes, so I'm like, I got all these students, like, I have to go out here and do this for them. Like, I got to be great for them, I got to win for them. And now I'm just like, you know what, I don't have to do any of that for anybody. I literally have to go in here, have fun, let my skills show. If I win, if I lose, it doesn't matter. Just go out there and just do the best you can do. And all these people behind me are going to love me anyway. And the ones that don't, I don't damn about them anyway. Like, they're not relevant in my life. Yeah. So I'm super chill in all of this. Like, there's a lot of fighters who are just like strong. They think they have to, I'm not one. I've found in the years that just being at peace, you know, and finding out how to balance fighting, training, you know, being at home with the family, because a lot of times fighters, like, they have to leave for 6-8 weeks. I'm not doing that, okay, because I love my family too much. So I'm going to be right here at the house, and I'm going to get my training in, and I'm going to be at the house, and I'm going to be at peace. And it's a good life.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. My little girls, whenever they would see you, out of all the sports I thought that they would like jump to, UFC was. Granted, my daughter was born in during COVID, so that was the only thing that was on. But she called them champion. And again, you and my daughter have the same skin tone, and she's like, representation. Like, Daddy, champion. Monica Medina. She gets after it, and that's, again, seeing your daughter and having them intermingle or whatnot. And so I always thought about that. I'm like, man, Monica has not just a cult following, but just like people, especially around here, like just love and just want to, like,
it's crazy still to me. Like, they follow me. They fly to Denver. They went down to Miami with me.
Yeah,
and
man.
I'm just like, to watch me fight? Like, y'all can watch that thing on like YouTube for like $19.
Oh, dude.
They're like, we love you and we're coming. And I'm like, all right.
That's a cool feeling, like the impact or whatnot. So it's like, the paycheck is the paycheck, but the impact, I feel like that is so transcendent or whatnot, and I think is your personality. You know, you can't help but, regardless, like you can whoop people's ass, but it's like they just love the person and not the athlete, and I see that a lot, especially with clients that's downstairs and they're from your kickboxing class. Yeah, I want to work out with Monica. Like, Quan, I like what you do, but I'm going with Monica, and I'm like, oh, hey, yeah,
You know what I do to these people? I talk so much trash, and I try to kill them on a daily basis, and they come back, and then I tell them all the time, I'm like, y'all pay for me to talk shit and try to hurt y'all every single day. Like, I get paid. Y'all are paying for this. Y'all must really love me.
Dude, they love. I can throw out a couple of names that are like
goofy
advocates, loyalists. They're like, nah, Monica's. If I'm gonna get tortured by anybody, it's gonna be Monica. I ain't about to. Nope, not you. I'm like, well, you know what? I respect it because Monica is badass. Because I see her at American Top Team. I'm like, man, it's either. Because like whenever it's at a top team, and then we'll do our training sessions, and they're looking at me like, man, what else you about to do? And I look over there at that right, because that's where you were throwing the man. I said, well, either you can do this, or you can take your ass over there. And they're like, no, man, because that is, again, men don't like cardio.
They don't.
And they see you moving.
That's some big thing I saw with like the fight team. Like there was one point where they were like, you guys need to just get in the kickboxing classes for cardio. They'll come in there, they'll hit that bag for about 5 minutes in my class, and they're like, no, I'm out. They can't handle it.
Can't handle that, man. And
I'm like, they got moms over here, these 40-year-old moms getting through my class. But you big bad fighters can't get through 5 minutes.
Women have so much want to, Batchy. And you see it. Like whenever you leave out of here and you open that door, what do you see?
I see a bunch of females. I think the females outweigh the males 100%.
Bro, getting after it.
And
man.
of all ages, like just straight grinding. It's truly all and inspiring to see. Like it's crazy.
And it's not easy shit.
Oh, I know. I've seen.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what we're doing is not easy, but the same thing with you. I'm
it's
like,
not easy.
How those guys, man, they're on all fours, sweating, throwing up, and Monica, sweats on, moving around. Like, hey,
let's go.
You signed up for it.
You signed up for it.
You signed.
You pay that fee every month. You better get out here.
Better get out. Better make your money worth. And I ain't about to let you down.
No.
So this probably be the last one for us, and out of, if I can give a Mount Rushmore of fighters, yes, females, right? That's either motivated you or like if you wanted to get in the ring with, give me the 5. Give me that 5. I gotta have that 5. Okay?
I've been asked this before, and it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough because like I don't idolize too many people as far as that goes. But my top person, the top of the list is Amanda Nunes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I have she reminds me of myself a lot. And so a lot of people are like Ronda Rousey. She's not even on my list. Amanda Nunes, top.
Yeah.
Behind her, I'm going to go with the small. She used to be one of my favorite fighters of all times. Thug Rose.
Okay, bro.
Thug Rose. She might not be at the top of the list now, but I just love her. I love her demeanor. I love when she shaved her hair. She's great. We're going to put Cyborg at number 3 because Cyborg is Cyborg. But when Nunes knocked her out, that was... I think that's when like I fell in love with Nunes for sure. I was like,
she skyrocketed one.
Dude, she fought her is what she did. What everybody else wouldn't do, she fought her.
Man.
There's 3. Let's go. Man,
that's a killer list.
Those 3 right there are, and I'm gonna go Holly Holm number 4. The only thing about Holly Holm that I don't like is how she goes back and forth before every fight. Have you watched her fights? Mm-hmm. Before it starts, she paces so much that it makes me nervous.
Yeah, she paces.
But
she paces hard.
We're gonna go her, and then at the bottom of my list, I'm gonna
no new blood on this list.
I'm gonna go China Wei Li. I have to go her. I was gonna go JJ, but Wei Li. Yeah, no new people.
Yeah, no new blood.
I'm
okay.
No, I like my old school.
No, I respect it.
Like up there in age, getting
Yeah.
up out of there.
I like how you threw Rose out. Like,
I
not
love
from-
her.
Yeah,
I love
not
her
the
ever
recent.
since she was on the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Like she's just someone
And I wasn't familiar. I wasn't familiar with her at all. Like, like out of everyone on that list, Rose was the one I wasn't familiar with. But like, whenever they start saying the Thug Rose, I'm like, yeah, you got beautiful eyes. What is so thuggish about it? But then it starts on the training and some back videos on Ultimate Fighter, and I'm like, oh, okay.
so small.
She's so small, man, but heart of a champion.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like Jason. How the Jason Knight kind of thing to me is like
He's small.
big personality, but small in frame, but big and but extremely skilled.
His bare knuckle fights with Artem Lobov. I was front row for the first one, and Jason Knight, about 2 of his teeth flew like right next to me.
You got a clip?
Dude.
Oh man,
There's
that's
probably
on the fly.
you got to find it somewhere.
Oh,
if you can
boy.
find it, if it's online, his teeth flew out in that first bare knuckle.
We'll put
BKFC.
We'll put it in post.
Yeah.
We'll put it in
Great.
post.
Somebody
Bro.
find his teeth, and he didn't care.
He got to
probably
face
still
a fighter,
missing.
bro.
He
got
started fighting when he was like 14 or something. His mom had to sign
Yeah.
so that he could fight grown men somewhere. Like his story, like when he first started, he's got a good story.
scrap.
You can never talk to that guy.
Yeah.
You might not be able to understand his country ass, but
I'm for this.
if you could get him in here and talk to him,
Man, he every bit of Van Cleve.
ooh, no,
God.
that's Loosedale.
That's Loosedale. That's
from
even worse.
Loosedale. That is
Good
straight up
God
Loosedale.
almighty, man.
Yeah.
That's George County.
Yeah, that's
They
Jason.
don't know what that is on there.
Okay, well,
Not on
that's
the
where he's
interwebs.
from.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Monica, this has been a blast. I appreciate it so much for you gracing us with your time because you are a busy woman. I told you she got more jobs than a Jamaican. You got them jobs, and I appreciate you just taking the time with us. So thank you
This
so
was great.
much.
Thank you
Yeah.
for having me.
All right.
Absolutely, I enjoyed it.
All right. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes.
Mm.